December events in Almaty in 1986. The December events in Almaty, also known as Желтоқсан, were protests by Kazakh youth that took place on December 17-18 in 1986 at Almaty city, then capital of the Kazakh SSR, which took the form of mass protests and popular uprisings against communist power. According to the official version, the unrest began because of the decision of the General Secretary of the Central Committee of the CPSU, Mikhail Gorbachev, to remove Dinmuhamed Qonaev from the post of the first Secretary of the Communist Party of Kazakhstan and replace him with Gennady Kolbin, who had never worked in Kazakhstan before, but was the first secretary of the Ulyansk Regional Party Committee. Participants of the peaceful rally demanded that a representative of the indigenous population be appointed to the post of head of the republic. Later, the unrest of the Kazakh youth take place in other cities and regions of the Kazakhstan. The December events in Kazakhstan became one of the first mass rallies in the USSR against the dictates of the center, and later similar events took place in other national republics of the Soviet Union. The reasons of these events. The first reason, appointment of Gennady Kolbin. The second one, the growing economic difficulties of the Soviet system in the context of different ethno-demographic trends in the development of the two main ethnic groups of the Kazakh SSR, Russian and Kazakhs. The third reason, growth of social and inter-ethnic tension. And the last reason, it's despite the announced process of indigenization, the implementation of the Russification policy continued. Course of action. The performances began with a peaceful demonstration on the December 16. The first groups of Kazakh youth came to the new square of the capital demanding the cancellation of Kolbin's appointment. The government in Moscow handed over the case to the Ministry of Internal Affairs to disperse the rally. In the city, telephone communications were immediately turned off. These groups were dispersed by the police. On the morning of December 17th, crowds of young people led by active national patriots came out to the Brezhnev Square in front of the Central Committee building. The posters of demonstrators read, "We demand self-determination. To each nation its own leader. Do not to be the 37th. Put an end to the great power madness." On December 17th, Nazarbayev, along with other officials of the Republic, spoke to the raging crowd, urging young people to return to their educational and workplaces.
During the tragic events of December 17-18, people died and many were injured. The news of the dispersal of the demonstrations stirred up the whole of Kazakhstan. In many cities of the Republic, similar demonstrations were held, also suppressed by the force of the authorities. The post-December period was marked in Kazakhstan by the strengthening of the totalitarian and repressive functions of the state. The number of detainees was about 8,500 people. 99 criminal cases were initiated. 46 people were rehabilitated after some time. 2 people sentenced to death, 83 to imprisonment from 1.5 to 15 years. 52 people were expelled from the party. 787 from members of the Komsomol. 1,138 received Komsomol penalties. 12 rectors of universities were dismissed from their positions. 271 students were expelled from educational institutions. 1,200 people were dismissed from the Ministry of Internal Affairs. 309 from the Ministries of Health and Transport.